Good Sunday morning, Northeast Ohio, on this President's Day weekend. Tomorrow, February 20th, marks 1 month since Donald Trump took office as the 45th president. His vice president, Mike Pence, is over in Germany this weekend for the Munich Security Conference. Also over there is Ohio Governor John Kasich. Before he left this week, I had a chance to sit down and talk with Kasich about the conference and about the road ahead. You will be in Munich later this week. What do you think the reaction of the rest of the world will be to what has transpired here in the United States over the last month?
Well, there's concern. People are wanting to know, well, which direction are we going? Because they get unsettled over there. They want to know, what's America going to do? Is America going to continue to lead? What are all these changes all about? So when I'm there, and look, I just was at the Dutch embassy in Washington, part of a program. They just want to know, are we going to have a strong NATO, which I hope we do. Are we going to be united in terms of the Western thought, Western ideas, our Western civilization? There's a lot of upheaval, and they're nervous, and they want to know, are things going to calm down? Are we going to hang together?
As governor, your citizens are impacted by all the executive orders that are coming out of Washington. What was your reaction to the immigration ban? Well,
I said initially it was done, it was rolled out without much thought, and I think that you had the president's staff, they ill-served him. I said it right after it happened, and with a new president, you have to have staff that says we got to slow down. I mean, even in my operation, there are things that I want to do, and my staff will say, you know what, have you thought about the consequences of this? I don't think they thought it all through, and he was poorly served, and they're in court, and we'll see where it goes.
ToPassAmerica.com just launched with the core Kasich crew. What will be its purpose?
Well, I'm going to, I believe at some point here, be able to get back out. In fact, I have a call today on the balanced budget amendment, which I think is important to the Constitution to force the Congress to act responsibly. Will allow me to keep a team together to be able to communicate things I feel strongly about, whether they're national security, whether domestic issues. I think it's important that I can keep a voice, and a voice that's going to be fair. My goal is to, with any president, I praise them when they do a good job, and if I think they're in the wrong direction, I want to point it out.
Are you keeping your options open politically?
No, I want to continue to be a voice, but in terms of running for public office, I really don't see that. I mean, I have no interest in running for the United States Senate, and we have a Republican president who I will support when I can, and at times point out where I think they misstep. But I don't kind of look forward here, John, to a point where I'm going to be seeking public office again. I mean, nothing is ever completely off the table, but I just can't see what the scenario would be. And I've had a great run in public life, but I'm not going to fade away. I mean, people who are tired of me, you're going to get more tired of me, because even when I'm out of this office, I'm not just going to fade away. I'll be around.
You still got almost 2 years left in office, but nevertheless, the jockeying has already begun. Do you imagine being in a position where you back somebody in this race?
If Mary Taylor runs, I'll support her. She's my lieutenant governor, has been a good partner, and I think these endorsements are much to do about nothing, but obviously if she runs and would like my support, she'll get it, and it's going to be an interesting run-up to 2018 elections.
Before we get to 2018, we've got the 2017 elections, which is normally the sleeper of the four-year election cycle, but this year in Cleveland, that might be different. Frank Jackson's path to a third term was as smooth as his path to a second. His re-election challenges have been minimal. This year, though, the tone is different. As he goes for an historic 13th year in office, he faces something he really hasn't before, and challengers, including sitting councilmen like Jeff Johnson and potentially Zach Reed, and businessmen like Edwin's restaurant owner Brandon Krastowski.
He's got more of a record, plus and minus. So whether it's about the Tamir Rice shooting or this perception that Jeff Johnson promotes that he's all about downtown and that he's ignoring the neighborhoods. And I think those are the combination of factors that lead to this being much more competitive than we would have seen in the prior elections.
Sutton believes Jackson is saying his motive isn't history, but finally having the voter-approved funding in place for the schools and now the city with the income tax hike.
So he's really looking at, I need the next 4 years to try to accomplish what I've gotten from the voters in the approval of these two taxes, and frankly he's suspicious about these other candidates and whether they'd be able to do the same kind of job.
Remember though, Cleveland's elections are nonpartisan, meaning we don't have a primary till September, which George Sutton says is a challenge for someone who's not an incumbent.
Trying to campaign with this crowded field and then emerge from that and turn around and run a citywide campaign, you need to have that campaign really already in place in what you're doing to be in the primary.
Now, that's what Frank Jackson did when he beat incumbent Mayor Jane Campbell in 2005. But remember, Jackson also beat her in that fall primary. With Democracy 2017, I'm John Kasich. Enjoy your Sunday.